My name is Nancy, I'm 71, and the night my son shoved my suitcase into the rain and slammed the door behind me, he still had champagne foam on his lips. He had just inherited $33 million. And he told me, "You're dead weight, Mom. Go live off the government." 3 days later, that same son was sobbing on his knees, grabbing my hands, begging me, the woman he threw out like rotten trash, to save him from a disaster he never saw coming. And oh, I saved him, all right. Just not in the way he expected. When you raise a child alone, work 3 jobs, skip meals so he can eat, wait outside school when you're sick, you never imagine that one day he'll treat you like a disposable item. But life likes throwing knives when you're not looking. The night it happened, I had made my son, David, his favorite dinner. Not that he said thank you, the man had been acting like every word I spoke cost him oxygen. Had been tense all week. Short replies. Secretive phone calls. Avoiding eye contact. I thought he was stressed from work. No. He was waiting for confirmation of something that would change him into someone I didn't recognize. At 7:42 p.m., his phone buzzed. He looked at it. His face went pale, then red, then something like greed took over. He didn't even finish reading the message before he stumbled backward, laughing hysterically. Mom. M.O.M. He actually did it. That crazy old man actually left it to me. Left what? Who? I asked. He paced the living room like an animal smelling blood. My father's brother, Uncle Raymond, you remember him, right? I did. A cold, selfish businessman who barely acknowledged our existence. He and my ex-husband cut ties years ago. He died last week. I said cautiously. He left me everything, David roared, waving his phone. $33 million. I'm rich, Mom. 40 generations rich. I covered my mouth. Oh my God. David, that's... He cut me off. Finally, I can live my life. No more worrying, no more cheap living, no more, he paused. Then he looked at me with a stare so unfamiliar it chilled me. No more taking care of you. I froze. What do you mean? He sighed dramatically, like I'd asked the stupidest question on earth. Mom. Come on. I'm 45 years old. I can't drag you around forever. I want a fresh life. New place. New people. New everything. And where do I fit in? I whispered. You don't. The words hit me like a blunt hammer. Then he pointed at the stairs. I ordered you a cab. Pack your things. You're leaving tonight. The suitcase he shoved at me still smelled of the attic. David, where will I go? I asked. I have no income except my small pension, and he snapped his fingers in my face. Not my problem. Here, he shoved a crumpled wad of cash into my hand. $200. That's enough. He practically herded me out the door. No hug. No goodbye. Not even a glance back. As the door slammed behind me, I felt something inside crack open, something deep, ancient, and wounded. I raised this man. I sacrificed my life for him. And the second he tasted wealth, he treated me like waste. But life has its own funny timing. And David had no idea what was coming. The taxi dropped me at a 24-hour diner, the only place open at midnight. As I sat at a booth shaking, an older man approached me. Tall, neat silver beard, kind eyes. Nancy? He asked gently. I stared at him, confused. Yes, it's me, he smiled, Martin Hale. We lived next door 30 years ago. You used to bring us oatmeal cookies. My mouth fell open. Martin! You moved to Seattle, he nodded. I did. But I moved back recently. You look freezing. Please, let me buy you something warm. I wanted to refuse. Pride. Embarrassment. But my body was shaking, so I accepted. Over soup, he listened as I told him everything. Every ugly detail. Not once did he interrupt. When I finished, he leaned back, jaw tight. Nancy. You're coming with me. I won't let you sleep on the street. That night, he took me to a guest room in his house, warm, clean, peaceful. He gave me blankets, tea, and something I hadn't felt in years. Safety. Over the next 2 days, I learned the truth about Martin, a truth I never expected. He wasn't just financially stable. He was wealthy. Not flashy wealthy, but quiet wealthy. Owned several successful tech companies. Lived simply. Gave to charity. And unlike my son, he had empathy. He told me, Nancy, you spent your whole life caring for others. Let someone care for you now. I cried. I couldn't help it. For the first time in decades, someone spoke to me like I mattered. On the third morning, my phone rang. David's number. Martin was in the kitchen when I answered. Mom! David screamed. Mom, where are you? Everything is collapsing. My heart jumped. What happened? He sobbed loudly, dramatic, panicked, broken. It's all gone. Uncle's assistant tricked me. He forged fake documents, transferred everything to himself. Mom, please, I need you. I need your help. I need somewhere to stay. I froze. So the billions of heirs lifestyle lasted 2 days. Mom, please. I'm homeless. Like he forced me to be. I'm coming to you, he begged. Tell me where you are. I took a long breath. No. Silence. What? He whispered. You heard me, I said calmly. No. He exploded. Mom. You can't do this to me. I am your son. I glanced at Martin, who was quietly sipping tea. I'm the same mother you threw out days ago, I said. Remember? Dead weight, Mom. I was stressed. I made a mistake. He pleaded. Please. You're all I have left, but something inside me had shifted, hardened. You made your choice, David. Mom. Mom, please. I hung up. My hand trembled, but the power was intoxicating. Martin set his tea down. Hell call again, he said gently. What do you want to do? I wiped my tears. I want him to learn, I whispered. Not suffer. Just understand. Martin nodded slowly. Then I'll help you. And that's how the plan began. The next day, David found my location. He always was resourceful when desperate. He arrived at Martin's home looking like a wreck. Messy hair. Dark circles. Clothes soaked in sweat. He dropped to his knees at the door. Mom, please forgive me, he cried. I'll do anything. I stepped outside. You're not coming in, I told him. But I'll talk to you. He nodded rapidly. Mom, Uncle's assistant stole everything. I filed a complaint, but the lawyer says the will was complicated. I don't understand any of it. I need you. You're the only one who knows paperwork, details, legal stuff. I'm drowning. Ah, yes. He forgot this part. I worked 35 years as a legal secretary. I knew inheritance law better than most attorneys. And David knew that. I sat next to him on the porch. David, I said quietly, did you read the will yourself? No, he admitted. The assistant showed me a summary. A summary, I repeated. Not the original document, he froze. What are you saying? I took a deep breath, saying, your uncle didn't leave you $33 million. His mouth fell open. What? He did, no, I said gently. He left you nothing. I reached into my purse and pulled out the real will, something Martin had gotten through his connections. Your uncle donated his entire fortune to a medical foundation. You never inherited a cent. David stared at me, pale as chalk. But the assistant. He said, he tricked you into thinking you were rich, I said softly. And you showed him exactly who you were the second you believed it. David collapsed onto the porch step, shaking, muttering, I ruined everything. I ruined everything, and for the first time in years. I felt nothing for him. No pity. No guilt. Just clarity. He looked up at me desperately. Mom, please. Let me live with you. Just for a bit. I'll find a job. I swear. I shook my head. You had a home, I said. You threw me out of it. So you're abandoning me? He shouted. No, David, I said calmly. I'm letting you face the consequences of your own choices. He swallowed hard. But where do I go? There are shelters, I replied. Help centers. Assistance programs. You told me to use them. Now I'm telling you. He looked like I stabbed him straight in the chest. Mom. Please. I stood up. I hope you learn from this, I said. Truly. But I'm not your safety net anymore. Then I walked back inside. I didn't look back. And that, dear listeners, is how my son learned that money reveals who we truly are, whether we have it, or just think we do. He threw me onto the streets the moment he believed he had millions. 3 days later, he was on his knees begging for the mother he discarded like old trash. Did I help him? Yes. I helped him see the truth about himself. I helped him grow up, finally, at 45. He's working now. Living modestly. Rebuilding from scratch. As for me? I chose peace. I chose dignity. I chose the people who choose me. And sometimes, the greatest revenge is simply walking away and letting the universe finish the job you never had to start.